I'm a 27-year-old woman, and for as long as I can remember, I've been the black sheep of my family. Growing up in a family of 5, it was clear from an early age where I stood. My parents favored my older sister 30 and younger brother 25 in ways that were impossible to ignore. I was the responsible one, the independent one, which as I later realized was just a polite way of saying I was the one they didn't care to support. My childhood was full of little reminders that I didn't matter as much. My sister was praised for the smallest accomplishments, she barely passed a course in college, and my parents threw her a huge party. When I graduated with honors, my parents shrugged it off like it was no big deal. They didn't even show up for the ceremony. It wasn't just about the celebrations, though. It was everything. My sister was fragile, my brother was sensitive, and I was just expected to deal with everything on my own. The financial inequality was one of the hardest parts. My sister got help buying a car, my brother had his tuition paid for, and they both went on family-funded vacations. Meanwhile, I was told I needed to learn to be independent. When I asked for help with medical bills after a surgery I couldn't afford, they told me they were saving for emergencies. That emergency turned out to be my sister's second wedding, which they funded entirely. That was a breaking point for me. Therapy wasn't something I ever thought I'd try, but by my mid-20s, I was desperate for answers. Why did I feel like I had to earn my parents' love? Why did they treat me like I didn't belong? Therapy opened my eyes to a lot of things I hadn't wanted to admit. My parents' favoritism wasn't just unfair, it was manipulative. They used it to control me, keeping me on edge and always trying to prove myself. For the first time, I started setting boundaries, and let me tell you, they did not like that. The real catalyst for change came at a family reunion a couple of years ago. I was sitting in the kitchen when I overheard my siblings mocking me. They were laughing about my career and my sad little apartment, as they called it. The worst part? My parents were laughing right along with them. I don't know why it surprised me, it wasn't the first time they'd made me feel small, but hearing it like that, out in the open, broke something in me. I confronted them right there. I told them I was tired of being treated like I didn't matter, tired of their constant dismissal of my feelings. They looked at me like I was speaking another language. My dad called me dramatic. My mom said I should stop being so ungrateful. That was it for me. I knew I couldn't keep living like this, always hoping they'd suddenly start treating me differently. Cutting ties wasn't easy. My parents acted shocked, like they couldn't believe I'd actually stand up for myself. My siblings called me selfish, but for the first time, I didn't care. I stopped answering their calls, stopped showing up for family events. Instead, I poured my energy into myself. I started focusing on my career, spending more time with friends, and figuring out what I actually wanted out of life. It was during this time that I started building my own version of a family. I surrounded myself with people who genuinely cared about me, who celebrated my wins and supported me when I was struggling. When I got a promotion at work, a big one that I'd been working toward for years, they threw me a surprise party. It was the first time in my life I'd felt truly celebrated. My biological family didn't even acknowledge it. That just confirmed what I already knew. I'd made the right decision. One of the best moments came on my birthday last year. My friends surprised me with a cake and decorations, something my family had never done. It wasn't about the gifts or the party itself, it was about feeling seen and valued. I realized I didn't need their approval anymore. I could build a life where I was the priority. A few weeks later, I decided to share my story online. I'd spent so long feeling like I was alone in this, like there was something wrong with me for wanting more. But reading other people's stories had helped me so much, and I wanted to do the same for someone else. The response was overwhelming. People shared their own experiences, offered advice, and reminded me that it's okay